So we're making our regular coffee.
Making our American drip coffee here in Italy. When my Italian friends come over, they want to know how this thing works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is a foreign concept here.
Maybe not a good concept here. Voila! American coffee in the morning.
Even the large mugs are a foreign concept here.
Yeah.
We were asked, what do you use these mugs for?
A lot of people think they're just for tea here.
Good morning and welcome back. Today we want to talk to you about the difference between living and traveling in Italy. We want to address a couple of things that usually people who talk about just traveling for a vacation don't talk about.
The reason being, some friends have contacted us and said that, hey, could you give us the down low on living in Italy, the good, the bad, the ugly? And we said, sure, but that can be very subjective because everyone has a different experiences and expectations.
Something that we did have a conversation among ourselves is this specific person that we talked to is very American. So there are people who are American and they are American. They're very Americanized, if we can say it that way.
Yeah, maybe not conducive to change, maybe very set in their ways and expectations of things.
And they like the conveniences and the way things are done in the US, and they cannot adapt, or they have a hard time adapting to things that are different in other places. So we compiled a list of a couple of things that we think you need to be aware of before making the jump.
Some of these things might be a little trivial, but full disclosure, these are the things we thought about and we mentioned to them.
So the first one we want to address is language. Do you need to speak Italian when you come here? And are Italians really accepting of you not speaking Italian?
First off, there's a difference between just coming to visit and living here. When you're a tourist, you're in touristy areas, people understand you're a tourist and they're accommodating. But when it comes to language and living here, you need to speak Italian. You need to make a good faith effort to learn Italian.
Now, he's right. Traveling, you're going to go to a restaurant, you're going to go to a museum, most people are going to speak in English to you, and you always heard that Italians are super nice when you try to speak their language.
And they are. And they are.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
they are.
Even when you live here and you're trying and attempting, it's nice. But
when you move here, now you have to deal with government offices and the postal service. And I'm going to tell you something. If you don't speak Italian, your grazie and your per favore is not going to take you too far because they have no problem telling you, go find somebody that can help you and come back with somebody that can speak Italian. We've seen it.
Right. I'm a retired government employee, and you know what it's like dealing with the government. So imagine coming into a government office and not speaking the language, and that person already frustrated with the 100 people they helped before you. So you can kind of get the reason why they're like, you know what, go figure this out on your own and come back.
And there is no such a thing as, let me talk to your supervisor.
No.
Not such a thing.
No.
So yes, once you are moving here and you are living here, you will need to speak Italian. Now, unless you have a lot of money. If you have a lot of money and you can pay for people to do things for you, then yeah.
There's
it's
tons.
Not our case.
Yeah, there's a ton of people who are willing to go with you to open up a bank account, to deal with the different bureaucracy things.
Okay.
Which leads us into the next topic.
Yes.
The Italian bureaucracy.
Something that you have to do when you get here, there's no way around it, is registering with the comune. The comune is the municipality. You have to get a lease, and your lease have to be registered with the comune, and you have to go through a process to register that. After that is registered, then you go to the police department to, basically say, I'm here, I'm trying to get residency here. So then, after that, the police said, oh, okay, no problem.
And now you have like about 45 days for the police to come out and visit you and make sure that's where you live. Exactly. And they may want to see your passport. If you're not there, if you're at a store, they may talk to a neighbor. So there's a whole process involved. And imagine doing this not speaking the language.
Exactly. And again, it's 45 days that you cannot leave Italy. You have to be around, because if they come in and they cannot find a neighbor to talk to, for example, and it happened, then they have to reschedule and come back out again. So things like that.
And they're going to call you, so get ready. You're going to get a phone call from a police officer speaking Italian, asking, "Where are you?" "I'm on my way. I'll be there in 15 minutes."
Yes, so it happened to us.
Yes.
So that's something that people are not aware, and that a movie is not showing you about Italy, and the traveling people are not showing you about Italy.
Correct. So the next bureaucratic thing that can be a hassle.
And this is for Americans. Specifically, we're addressing Americans because, it's the ones that we know and it's where we came from.
Yes. When you come to Italy, you can drive on your driver's license, your U.S. driver's license, for 1 year. After that, if you get caught driving with your U.S. driver's license, you could be in trouble. A lot of fines. They take your driver's license away from you. And it could hinder you getting an Italian driver's license, which she has done, thank God.
And it's a whole process that you have to do, and to test that, you have to do it in Italian. Again, language. So everything is intertwined here.
So imagine taking a driving exam in a different language. It's crazy, okay?
And what they request here about knowledge to get your driver license is very different than in the United States, and I made a whole video about it.
Which will be linked in the description below.
You can see.
Another thing that can be very difficult here is renting and buying a property. Yes, it's not like in the States where it's very convenient. You can rent an apartment in a day.
Yes,
it's a process.
No, we addressed this also in another video, that renting realtors don't share, so you have to go to each realtor to visit properties. And that's, it's a hassle. And they're going to ask you for more money if you are not from here, right?
Right.
But besides that, if you are buying a property, you have to be very mindful. Many properties here sit for 10 years, 20 years vacant. They don't sell that quick. So you have to be mindful. It's not like in the States that you buy a property and you can sell it in a year later and done.
So, and it's a process in another language.
And one more thing is when you buy a property, especially if it is a property that is old, in most cases, you cannot touch the facade. So to get permits, to get things like that, it's,
To tear down a wall is a process.
Yes.
It's all, again, very, very much a bureaucracy.
Yeah.
In every sense of the word.
The next point that we want to talk about that is related to what we just talked also is no sense of urgency. Okay? Now, when you have an emergency, yes, of course.
If you call for an ambulance, it will be here quick.
Also, if, I don't know, your house is flooding or something, you will get what you need. But
everything else, lower your expectations.
La dolce vita.
Sí, lower.
Everything, for example, we bought a car, it took 3 weeks for the car for us to get the car.
When we tell our Italian friends you can buy a car in a day, they're like, really? I was like, no, it takes time here.
Also,
a washing machine. We bought a washing machine from a reputable company.
Big company, kind of
like Best Buy.
Best Buy.
And it took 3 weeks for them to deliver it. Not only that, it took several phone calls.
To be able to get the washing machine.
And also, like when you pay to have a washing machine delivered, you're expecting them to hook it up and everything. Here, they dropped it off and left.
They wanted extra money for that. So anyway, that's
but you got to realize
there's no sense of urgency, like we said.
None at
Everything is slower.
Yeah, which is nice because like when you go out to eat, they're not rushing you to leave. A meal is expected to take a good part of the evening. You're socializing with friends and family. It's a great thing, but that carries over to everything else.
Something else that you need to know, and this is especially, like I said at the beginning, for the ones that are very American and they're used to certain conveniences or comforts, and you're not going to find them, or you might have to pay a lot more to get them. For example, there are no garbage disposals in the houses.
Yes, this is a kitchen sink.
That's it. Washing your clothes without a dryer. So you will see these all around Italy. See, our neighbors. There you go. So everybody uses this rack also where you can dry your clothes. Now, this is the issue. Today is a beautiful day. As you can see, we have a view of a little bit of the mountains over there. But yes, it's great when it's
Nice weather.
when you have sunshine. But when it's raining
Or it's winter.
or it's winter, this whole rack has to go inside the house. So those are the things that you have to consider.
Something else you have to consider is that there's not really AC in all the homes here. Unless you are lucky enough to rent an apartment that has AC or you put your AC in your house, you're not going to have it. So in our case, we use a lot of fans this time of year when it starts to warm up to circulate air throughout the house. Now, if we ever buy a place, of course, we'll probably put AC in it. So those are the things you have to think about whenever you're moving to Italy.
Now, the last thing we want to address is that it is a cultural difference. There is no babysitting here.
And they're very straight to the point.
So, in the sense that, for example, in the United States, you go to the doctor or you set up an appointment and the doctor will call you 24 hours before or 48 hours before to let you know, hey, remind you, hey, you have an appointment.
Not here.
No.
As a matter of fact, you'll walk into a doctor's office and sit down, and it's more like jockeying with other people to go see your doctor at your appointment.
Because what's happening is they don't have a secretary, like they do over there in the States. Here is more like a receptionist
For all the doctors in that building.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's different.
So, for example, your records, right? If you go to get an X-ray or an MRI.
I had to go get ultrasound, and I got it done, and they printed everything off and gave it to me, and it was my responsibility to take it back to my doctor and discuss it with that doctor.
So let me put it this way. If they find something that, in the US you're used to that the technician gets the stuff and they send it to your doctor and you go to your doctor and then you sit down and the doctor discuss it with you. Well, here is like this. You get an X-ray or you get whatever it is, they give you the actual X-ray, the actual CD with stuff, whatever it is.
With a little, normally you sit down and type up a little report, a little blurb.
And they say exactly what they found. So if they found a tumor, it's going to say that you're going to be the first one to read it,
Yeah.
So that's how it is, straight to the point. So they don't hold on to any type of record. Your doctor is not going to have a wall full of records, files like they do in the States.
Yeah. Now there might be something that they ordered stuff online, but as far as your personal records,
no, everything's in the system.
We actually have file folders that we keep all of our stuff
Yes.
in. Yeah.
And if you go to the doctor and you are on the heavy side, they will tell you.
They'll tell you.
Doctors have told him, hey, you're getting these results because you are too big.
Right.
Or, they just tell you, you're fat. I mean,
that's it.
There is no babysitting culture.
And at first you're kind of taken back by it, but I'll be honest with you. I like the directness. I enjoy straight to the point. It doesn't bother me.
Now, some people don't like that. That's why you need to be aware of it.
Yeah. If you live in Italy or another country and you experience the same things or different things, let us know. We'd love to hear about it.
Is there anything that we talk about that might stop you from coming here? Anything like that will bother you so much that you will stop from, moving to Italy? I don't know.
Yeah.
Let us know. But like we said, we are leaving you these other videos so you can check out the other subjects that we talk about.
And if there's something else you want us to talk about, let us know.